So the important question is, how can we transmute sadness and grief and turn it into joy? So the first thing is, as we talked about, well, is understanding that you need to find your worthiness inside of yourself. It was really interesting. I was listening to the NFL draft last week, American football. And, you know, when I'm watching the draft, it's not just about football. A lot of these guys who've been drafted, it's their dream. It's their passion. Since they're a young kid, they wanted to play NFL football and to be drafted to one of the top sides in the world, which is probably meant they're going to have a lot of abundance, right? Because they get paid millions of dollars. But it's also about a dream. And I remember one of the guys, I think his name was Trey Lance, I think he was number 3 in the draft, so pretty high in the draft, right? And when they interviewed him, it was great listening to the interviews, you know, when they got drafted. And he said something, you got to know your worth. Love the comment, know your worth. That's his philosophy about life. And he said, I know my worth as a footballer. That's why I'm here. And I'm going to show the world my worth. So he's connecting to himself. That whole point of getting drafted for him was an acknowledgement that he knows and feels his worth and what he can offer the world as a footballer. Because obviously a lot of people enjoy watching it, right? So the first important point is that to transmute sadness and grief, you need to redefine yourself by not being attached to things outside of yourself and find joy from being who you are. So if you want to be joyful, be joyful. Choose to be who you are. Have you ever watched kids playing? Or have you ever watched little puppies playing? Or little cats playing? They're so joyful. They're not attached to things outside of them. They just make fun and joy whatever's there. Because they're just enjoying being who they are. They're enjoying being a puppy dog or enjoying being a little kid and being intuitive and playing and finding out what's in the world. They're not attached to outcomes or what's happening in the world, or they're just having fun because they're enjoying who they are. That's probably the most important thing you need to do to change your happiness. Right? Let go of sadness. Is enjoy who you are. Right? That's really, really important. That's really important. Right? I'm going to give you an exercise in a minute to help you connect to that. The other important thing you need to do is understand that when you do feel sadness or grief, how to connect to them and how to move through it. And it's 3 simple. I'm going to give you a 3-step process to move through that. So what I want you to do is I want you to connect to a recent experience you've had, and you've all had some dramatic experiences that you've told me about sadness and grief. So I want you to connect to a recent experience you've had that caused you sadness and grief. And I want you to allow yourself to feel it. Just go into that experience and just allow yourself to feel it. It's just an energy, it's an emotion, it's okay. And you might feel heaviness in your chest, or you might feel, funny energy on your foot, or pain in your stomach, because you run to anxiety. Now, as you connect to this energy, then it's about, okay, I'm feeling this emotion for a reason. What can it teach me? Because we experience these energies for a reason, the law of attraction. So I want you to connect to this energy. And rather than resisting the sadness and grief, I want you to treat it like a friend. So, hello sadness, hello grief. Thanks for being here. What can you teach me? What do I need to learn from you? So talk to the energy, the pain, the suffering of sadness and grief. Connect to it and talk to it, just like you're talking to a person. Hello energy, hello sadness, hello grief. Why are you here? What do you need to teach me? This is not about sharing it. This is just about This is just about getting the message. This is what I do with all emotions. I talk to them, make sadness my friend. Hello, sadness, Mr. Friend. Cool. I'm feeling really sad now. I feel like crying. I've got a tsunami coming out of my eyes. But why am I here? Why am I sad? What do I need to learn? That's the message. What do I need to learn? How can I change my perceptions of my life, which is going to reduce my suffering? And might mean, oh, I've got to connect to my daughter who's passed over, or I've got to talk to my grandfather who's just about to die. I need to talk to him, connect to him. Or if you lost a job, it might be, the message might be, oh my God, that job wasn't for me. This is exciting. I need to look at something different in my life. Or if your house burnt down, it might be, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe I need to be somewhere else. And losing my house is a message that I need to go and live in another place, like move to Queensland or something. So if you do get a message, then I want you to really connect to that energy and go, okay, what action do I need to take? Is the third step. Connect to the energy and that message and say, okay, what's a loving action I need to do right now to move me into joy? Just really keep connecting to the energy, get the message, number 2, and 3, ask it, what loving action do I need to take now to move into joy? Because the sadness or grief is there for a reason for you to learn. Okay. So now you can finish that. And remember, when you watch this video, I'll give you those 3 steps, right? So would anyone like to share in their experiences? Message they got? Or is it all very personal? Irvin. Thank you, Irvin. I'll unmute you.
The message I got was to feel for love, feel for the source.
Cool. What can you? Would you like to share the experience you connected to?
No, not really. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. No, you don't have to. I'm asking you. So just share the message again.
Just the to feel for love, to feel for the source, and that eventually things will get better.
Okay. So the message I'm getting to you, also Irvin, which is for the group, is rather than looking for love and even getting it from the source, I want you to be love.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everything altogether. Yeah.
No, but I just want you to be love. So right now, I just want you to imagine being love for 10 seconds. Just say, I am love.
I am love.
So you're not looking for it externally, because you are love. Because we're everything, so we can also be love. Just allow yourself, if you were love, what would that feel like? Oh yeah, so it looks pretty cool.
Joyful.
Yeah, cool, excellent. So that, remember, on the emotional tone scale, that moves you up to 540 from 25. That's pretty cool.
That's it. Yeah. I found the shortcut.
You found a shortcut. So
Yeah.
at any time, you can choose to be love.
Yeah.
How powerful is that for anyone? Just to be love. Oh my God, I've lost my job. No, right now I'm just going to be love. See, that is a choice that we can make. We can choose to be love and choose to be joy, irrespective of what happens in our life. But the more we understand experiences, why things happen to us, to get the message from the emotion, the more that we're going to be able to be detached from it. Okay, thanks for sharing that, Irvin. That was a powerful message for everybody. Great, thanks for that. Anyone else would like to share? Maybe this experience happened to you, to whatever it was, for you to share your voice. And maybe it related to the world. Remember, right? Because we're all here to help humanity. And if you look at, it's a time when a lot of women have to share their voice. Because in a lot of cultures, a lot of women are actually suppressed, as we're aware of, right? And it's really important that a lot of people have got to share their voice right now, especially what's going on in the world. And we're being told a lot of different things. And it's important that people share their voice about what they're feeling about what's going on in the world. No, there's no, but trust the message you're picking up. So maybe this is time for justice. And just part of justice is expressing yourself. Is actually allowing yourself to expressing what you want to express. That's the joy of you expressing yourself. Just allow yourself to really feel that joy of being who you are by expressing what you want to say for justice. And that some of that resistance just comes from part of your old beliefs. See, because we know from the law of attraction, what you attract in the world is dependent on the energy inside of you. So if you feel that joy of expressing yourself inside, eventually that's going to come out into your external world. Because if you feel sad and unhappy inside, guess what you're going to create in your life? Sad and unhappiness. That's the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Until you learn from it. So that's another powerful exercise. And actually, I like to play with words. That's part of my joy, is actually playing with words, right? And that's sharing my essence. And if you look at the word justice, it is like just is. Everything just is. Whereas we tend to label things. Oh, this is bad. And, people get sad because it's raining. Like it's really raining in Melbourne this morning. People go, oh my God, I'm sad because it's raining. I go, what? Your happiness is dependent on the weather? My God, you are really going to create suffering if you get sad from raining in Melbourne. Well, you could actually, I went, and Irvin knows this too because he does it. I went down to the park and I was walking in the park in the rain with no shoes on. And everyone's walking their shoes on. I told this girl, right, because you walked past and I said, she's really cold and freezing. I said, take your shoes off. It's going to warm you up. So the reason you're cold is because you've got shoes on. Whereas I'm walking on the earth with my feet, which actually is warming you up. Irvin loved that, don't you, Irvin? Walking feet. Yeah. So that's a fun exercise for you guys to do, right? Go and walk on the earth. See, that's justice. Everything just is. I'm just enjoying the rain because it is. So part of letting go of sadness and grief is acceptance. This has happened. If you resist what's happened in your life, which means you're attached, right? You're attached to an outcome. If you accept this has happened, right? Once you accept, you go, okay, why has this happened and what can I learn from it? That's really what the word justice is. Things just are. Because based on the law of attraction, everything's perfect. Thanks for sharing that, Ashley. That was really powerful. So I suggest you do that exercise every day. That's going to get powerful and powerful. And this reminds me of an exercise I do. Like when I feel I'm being small, like closing myself, I'm imagining I'm one of those big helium balloons, and I just keep pumping myself up until I'm so big. And I go, see how small the world is? Why do I have fear of the world? The world's really small. Because in a way, we are really big. And it doesn't mean I'm arrogant, I'm better than other people. I'm allowing myself to be big because we're all big. We're all big souls. We're all the universe inside of us. Allow ourselves to be that. See how empowering it is that you can change you have the power to change your energetic state. I'm going to finish off with this exercise, which is I came up with today, right? So just get comfortable. Just trust what I'm going to take you through. Right, you might want to lie down or whatever. So what I want you to do is I want you to really focus your energy on your heart. Because remember, a lot of this sadness is around your heart. To really focus your energy right now and really imagine breathing in and out of your heart. And so much so that you can even feel your heart beating. You're that focused on your heart. And just really imagine breathing love into your heart. And on the out breath, sending love to every part of your body. In breath, breathing love into your heart. Out breath, imagine sending little love hearts to every cell in your body. This is like a love meditation you can do every day, especially if you're in your head. But now we're going to expand it. So now keep focused on your heart. And now I want you to imagine that in your heart is a beautiful eagle. Just imagine your heart is an eagle. And why we're choosing an eagle is because an eagle's got vision. And this is going to connect, we're going to help you connect to the vision of who you are. So now imagine this beautiful eagle's in your heart. And now I want you to imagine that this eagle is going to fly out of your heart and it's flying in a spiral. And as it's flying in a spiral going out from your heart, the spiral is getting bigger and bigger. And what it's doing is it's creating a vortex, like an energy. A vortex is like a connection to higher dimension, which is going to connect you to your essence. So just to keep imagining this energy, this eagle is flying out of your heart. You still connect to your heart, but you can feel this eagle is flying up, and it's flying in a spiral, and the spiral is getting wider and wider. It's creating a vortex to your heart, and the eagle is flying further and further away from your heart, flying away from the earth, and the spiral is getting really, really big. It's creating this beautiful vortex from your heart. And this eagle's got vision. And now the eagle lands into this big, huge, beautiful cloud. And we're going to call this cloud 9, like euphoria. So imagine this eagle lands in this big cloud, and inside this cloud is your essence of who you are. Your soul essence, the energy you chose to bring to the planet. So now I want you to really connect to the eagle, being the eagle in the cloud 9, and really feel your essence. Just feel it. Don't even think about it. Just feel it. Feel what a beautiful soul you are. We're all beautiful souls. Allow yourself to feel the soul in this higher dimension that you're connecting to. Just enjoy the vibration of your soul. Okay, so now I want you to imagine as the eagle that you've embodied your essence in the body of the eagle. The eagle now has got all that vibration of who you are in the body of the eagle. And now I want you to imagine that the eagle flies out of cloud 9. And remember, it's embodied all your essence. And now the eagle is going to fly in that spiral down back towards Earth. And of course, as it's getting to the Earth, this spiral, this vortex it's created, is getting smaller and smaller as it's getting to the Earth. And the eagle is keeping getting closer and closer to the Earth. And now the eagle is going to land in, we're going to say the eagle's landed. The eagle's going to land in your heart. So now allow this eagle to land in your heart. And as you feel this eagle in your heart, you're feeling your essence in your heart. But from your heart, you can feel this big vortex going up to cloud 9. So imagine the eagle in your heart, which is your essence. It's brought your essence into your body. But also it's created this vortex, which is continually opened up to cloud 9. So just imagine from your heart, there's this beautiful vortex, like a spiral energy right up to cloud 9, which can always keep connected to. And now I just want you to feel the joy in your heart of being your essence in your body. Just feel that joy of feeling the vibration of who you are. Okay, excellent. Open up your eyes. So this is an exercise you can do, right, as a way of connecting to yourself. And you can just keep connected to this vortex all the time. Because remember, ultimately, joy comes from being who you are. So the really reason why you're feeling sad or grief is because you're not being who you are, which means you're holding beliefs that I need to have someone around me, or part of me disappeared because someone's left me, or I've lost my job or something. So that's where sadness comes from, external validation of who you are. No, joy comes from being who you are. That's ultimately where joy comes from, not what you have. I remember when I went to when I travelled and I went to Thailand, it really opened my eyes up. I went to Thailand and Sri Lanka, right? And these people had very little things economically. But as people, they were so rich, so joyful. And I go, what, my God? They're so joyful. See, because they didn't define themselves by what they had, they defined themselves by who they are. They were joyful. I remember meeting this girl in Sri Lanka on the beach, right? She was about 11 years old. And she was just talking to me. I talked to her for a couple of hours, right? And she said, "Oh, I want to take you home to my parents, meet my parents, right?" So I met her parents, right? Her house was on the beach. It was more like a hut made out of metal, and it had a big rubbish dump just right outside the house, right? But she was so joyful. Oh my God! They didn't hardly had nothing, but their whole family was so happy and joyful. So thanks again for everyone participating tonight. I hope those go away, have those exercises, connect to what we talked about. See if you can have ways of being joyful in yourself, right? Having the eagle and flying up into cloud nine, allow yourself to be in cloud nine. But you certainly look at ways of of how you can reduce your suffering. And if you do feel sadness and grief, to go through the exercise I gave you, which is about feel the emotion, allow yourself to be with it, allow yourself to learn from the energy by connecting to it, and then asking what loving action you take. A three-step process. And I do that with any emotion, anger, anxiety, guilt, whatever. Because if you learn to go through your emotions, then you're not going to suppress them, which means you're not going to hold them in your body, and your body's not going to be toxic, and you're not going to suffer all the health problems from holding on to your emotions. Which, as I said, there's a lot of deep physical issues that are caused by sadness and grief. Heart attacks, diabetes, obesity, lung problems start huge, as well as being totally distressful, devastating to your life, and not being able to create what you really want to create. So that should give you the incentive to want to have ways to transmute and to allow yourself to be joyful. So one thing I do, I like going to the park. I live near Armour Park, right? And one reason I like Armour Park is because dogs can go off the lead. And I like going there like in the mornings or at 5:30 when people are there with their dogs, and all the dogs are running around having fun, being joyful. You know what I mean? And they're just playing. And I love to see that because it helps me just connect to that energy of, oh my God, you can just be joyful, irrespective of what's going on in the world. You know, the dogs are just being joyful. So anyway, guys, thanks again for joining tonight to be here, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Friend me on Facebook, and then you can ask to join my group, Life Mastery, How to Live Your Life Purpose. If you join that group on Facebook, that's where I put in my videos, and I do posts on there all the time about various things about healing and illness and health. So, and that's a free page, so you can just join that.